Bree and I, we met in school. She attended Spelman, I attended Morehouse.
It was maybe the third day of class, orientation and education, and Reggie walked in to class late. Late is in being after 8 o'clock, and late is being after an enrollment date.
I sat in the back of the room, naturally because I was late most of the time. Bree sat up front. She was early most of the time or on time.
Then we had study groups, and we tested together. We had open book tests where we had the opportunity to share all our answers. So we were in the same study group, and he cheated off of me because I was smarter than him.
There may be a little truth to that. We had a project that we were assigned to do together, and she called me because the project was broken up into 4 different parts, and each member of the group had their own part to do. So Bree called me to give me the answers for her part as well as to give me the answers for my part.
And in the evenings when it was time to record our answers, we ended up talking for hours and hours and hours.
And we talked on the phone maybe from 8 o'clock to possibly 2 o'clock in the morning, and we just had a great conversation. We talked about everything from religion to history, about our goals and ambitions.
It just seemed like we had a buddy relationship. We would talk, spend time together, but we didn't really become boyfriend and girlfriend until later on.
We just really had a connection, and I saw her as someone that I could grow with mentally and emotionally and all that other sweet stuff.
We didn't have a first official date. We had a day that we went out to dinner at Cool Hills Restaurant, and we ended up spending $114 between the 2 of us on dinner, and my credit card was declined. And it was just like such an episode of a day, and I had to call my mom and use her credit card to pay for the meal, that we said that was going to be our anniversary. So I guess that's what we call our anniversary, and that was April 17th.
I had the ring for probably 3 to 4 months before I actually proposed to Bree.
He said that he had been trying to do it for like a while. He had the ring for a long time.
I intended on proposing to her during our housewarming, but my parents couldn't make it down, her family couldn't make it down, and I really wanted to make it special, and I wanted everyone to be included, so when everyone didn't show up, I sort of put it off.
He said that he had actually went to work, had already left the house to go to work that day, and he just said, I need to do it now, and turned around and came back.
This is the world's best kept secret, so for all of you TV listeners out there, I'm getting ready to let you in on how I did it.
How do I think his story would? I think his story will sound real romantic. I think, he'll make it sound like the ambiance was there, and, I was somewhat conscious.
Waking up at around maybe 6 o'clock in the morning on my way to work, and then the light just comes through and shines through our blinds, and it just sort of, a gold sheen sort of covers Bree. And I looked down at her, and she looked so peaceful. And I just knew at that point in time that this was the person that I was supposed to spend my life with.
I was asleep in bed, and it was early in the morning, and I just remember Reggie waking me up. And I remember seeing a little candle, and he was on his knees, and he was, I don't remember what exactly he was saying.
And she looked up at me, and I had the ring, and I said, Bree, will you marry me? And her first response was, is this ring real? And I said, yes, it is. And then she said, yes, I'll marry you, and she hugged me, and we kissed.
I know he said something. I remember telling him to make sure he gets his lunch on the way out. He left for work, and then I woke up like 2 seconds later because I had to go to the restroom. I'm in the restroom. And I looked down and I have a ring on my finger, and I didn't know where it came from. Well, I knew that he must have gave it to me. So as soon as I got done in the restroom, I ran out the house, butt naked, and I saw his car driving up the street, but of course I couldn't catch him because I had no clothes on. So I went up in the house and I called him, and I was all excited and giddy, but I was kind of upset because he proposed and ran off into the sunset, and it took a while for me to get over the initial shock of it and wake up.
She called me and she said, where are you going? I said, I'm on my way to work. She said, why'd you leave? And I said, because I'm just nervous. And, that's how I proposed.